Hello, everybody. This is Scott Bass. I'm super excited to be back here with you today. Man, I'm just every week it gets better and better. And this week, you guys, some of you might have already been on a class. I believe it was back in June or July where Dr. Hank was on with us, and I'm just honored to be back with you, Dr. Hank, and I'm honored to have you here. I was on Dr. Hank's show, so we've been swapping back and forth, and we did some fun stuff there. And I don't know if you guys follow Dr. Hank, but if you haven't, he had a new grandbaby over the weekend.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you, my friend. That's just exciting as all get out, man. I can't wait for that day to happen. So my kids aren't quite there yet, so I'm not going to push that. I'm going to let them live life a little bit before they get into that. But so honored to have you here. I know you last time we had a ton of pouring in of thank you so much, thank you, and I had people literally writing out what you told them to write out, and it's amazing when you change your thoughts, what actually happens. And man, I'm a huge believer. I've been implementing it myself, and so I'm just honored to have you back and have you share what you have for us today. So what you got?
Well, you bet, Scott, and thank you so much for having me. And hi, everybody, and it's a real pleasure to be with you. And this is going to be an amazing hour. Like you're going to take away from this on ways, first of all, to be happier. And one of those happiness is that in 7 days you're going to have more business by the time we're done. Guaranteed that you'll have it. And so Scott shared that I had my first granddaughter. I have two grandsons, and my granddaughter that she was just born this weekend, and we haven't had a girl in 50 years in our family. I come from 4 boys. I have 3 sons and then 2 grandsons, and so it's been 50 years. So it's just great, and it's God's gift for us getting older, if you will, more mature, and so it's great times ahead for all of us with grandchildren, and then you can love them, spoil them to death, and have them go. So yeah, just a little background on me, that the Dr. Hank, I'm a mental scientist. I'm a head doctor. And so I have been blessed with understanding and discovering the secrets on how to tap into our subconscious mind. And we'll talk more about that today and have a better, clear understanding of what the subconscious mind is and how to be able to actually improve our beliefs, because it's done unto you as you believe. So if we can improve it, we can actually have some amazing results. And so this is some of my historic, I have actually been teaching real estate agents and brokers for over 20 years how to have more business. I was actually a broker with 420 agents. I and my agents, using my techniques, we've done over $4 billion worth of real estate business.
Wow.
And yeah. And now it's everybody's turn to be able to enjoy this. That kind of the secret is going to come out of the bag today, if you will, that I normally have just provided it for my agents and my different clients, brokers and agents around the U.S. And we're going to open up the bag today and give you all those goodies so that you can get your stuff, if you will, the things that you have been asking for. And I have the top mindset training in America. And so you're, again, going to get the juiciest part today and how to be able to get that and be able to really take your business to the next level, as well as to take your life to the next level. And thousands of agents and brokers have used this to increase their business and increase their wealth. And the other thing that, and Scott mentioned that, Scotty, you were actually on my podcast, which is Agent Wealth Success. And I have interviewed top agents, brokers, trainers like yourself, Scott, that and have asked them, what are your secrets to success? So in addition to all my mindset training, in addition to all my experience as a successful broker and with successful agents, that I also listen to other people and people like Scott to understand, hey, what are your secrets to success? And I'm going to share those secrets. There are 5 actual secrets to success. And the great thing is that this is all easy, it's simple, and it's going to be fun. In fact, I'm going to even, if you don't mind, Scott, maybe at the end we'll do a little singing.
All right. You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that, Dr. Hink, about interviewing other people is, man, I've learned so much.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to know what works, go interview the people that are having the most success. Guess what? They'll openly tell you.
Yeah.
And it's so insane how easy that is and how fun it is, because you don't have to guess, you don't have to think about it. You go, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this and doing that. Okay. Then you interview 100 people and you're like, okay, I got 100 things I could do, but then you narrow it down to the top 10 that almost all of them are doing. You're like, okay, let's do those top 10.
You bet. You bet. In fact, when you hear these, and I'll actually share them, so when I would ask these top agents and brokers, hey, what's the secret to your success? And virtually everybody, Scott, said that the number one thing was your mindset. And so it doesn't matter what kind of lead programs you have, what kind of lead training you have, how many times you watch these are great podcasts just filled with, Scott, you're the best podcast in America. And it's just filled with amazing information. And, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the right mindset. Like if you say it's not going to work for me, it won't. And so it's kind of like whatever you say, you're right, and so you got to kind of watch what you say. So it's that mindset improvement, and today we're going to really focus more on that, because everything else will flow to you once you have the mindset, and once you have the secret key to tap into your subconscious mind and to be able to really do and have all the things that you desire. So the second thing they said is that there were lead programs, and so it was lead programs, that really good lead programs available. And so I have those, and in fact, all 5 of these steps I have, and you can actually get it for under $200 a month on everything that we have. Number 1 leads program, et cetera. But typically agents, if they're not under my umbrella, if you will, that they were investing a couple $1,000s at least every month for good lead programs. So, I want you all to be thinking about, hey, how is my mindset? And then what kind of lead programs do I have? And then training and development. So because you are on this, that you're doing number 3 right now. And so that's just fabulous. And to be with Scott and I, and to really be able to, and I would recommend that you take notes about this, because we have, as we get going here, you're going to hear some things that you never heard, never understood before, that are going to take you to that next level and to specifically increase your business within the next week. And then the 4th one is, and this, by the way, most agents and brokers don't have any type of, they don't use number 4 or number 5. They never brought it up to me. And because of that, 97% of all agents and brokers don't have any type of savings or retirement plan, no exit strategy, if you will. And so I actually incorporate savings and investment in different apartment buildings and things like that. You don't even need money down, but all those can be in your world. But most of us haven't even thought about, like, for example, buying an apartment. We probably have a thought, oh, I can't do that. I don't know anything about that. But again, I can help you with that. And then passive income. And so I have like an agent that bought an apartment complex, and now it's $12,000 a month passive income for the rest of their life. So again, those are the 5 steps, and I would take note of those and think about, hey, where am I with that, and what am I doing with that? And but again, the most important thing is mindset, and so that's the gift that I want to give to all of you today. So let's talk about how mindset creates your life experience. That all of science, and when I say all of science, within the last 5 years, that microbiologists, neurologists, physicists, quantum physicists have all agreed there's just 3 steps to creation. And so, and again, I'm going to actually show you that there's a step that they missed in here, and that's the missing step that we're going to disclose to you today. But basically, that the first step on creating anything in your life, on anything is created, and everything is created with our thoughts. So the first step is with our thoughts. And so a couple things to kind of write down, and that whatever you focus on grows. And so if you fight against something that actually, like, so let me give you an example. If you have a real estate deal that goes south, and you start talking to other people about that, because that's your thinking, okay? And then you put it into word, and what your word is, it's articulated thought. And so it becomes even more powerful. And that's why, for example, like the Bible says on how powerful your word is, because it's articulated thought. So a deal goes south, you start talking about it, and Facebooking it and whatever, and talking to your friends and family about it. Then what will happen is you'll actually start attracting more of bad deals. And so even good deals that were good now start to turn bad. And so you want to watch your thought and not pay attention anymore to what's happening in your life, because that's just accumulated thought that you had previously that you're now experiencing it. So today, right now, that as you start changing your thought, you're going to see still some of the debris, if you will, of the garbage thought before that will come into your experience. But as right now, today, you start changing and improving your thought, that what's going to happen is that you're going to start improving your experiences. And again, specifically, you're going to start improving your business. You're going to have more commissions. You're going to have more money. And we're going to talk about money. So step one is this thoughts. And then these thoughts, according to the scientists, create energy. And that energy is really our emotions. So to take a look at your emotions, and you can either have bad emotions, if you will, hatred, anger, whatever, or you can have those good emotions and love, joy, abundance. And so depending on what you're feeling, you will attract more of whatever it is. So again, if you're angry, you'll create more things to get you angry. But if you think about abundance and how God loves you, on how this is an abundant world, and how you deserve to be rich. In fact, Scott, I'm just started my 13th book, and it's called Your Royal Path to Riches. And
Love it.
And so it has some of this in it, on that, know that we all deserve to be rich, and I'm going to help you to become rich. And just to be clear, that both Scott and I are rich in many ways, and money is one of those ways, independently wealthy. And Scott doesn't even, Scott right now is in Michigan, It's enjoying the weather there. And where do you normally live, or what is your main residence, Scott?
Well, I got two. So I'm 6 months, 1 day plus in Florida, which is Pompano down by Fort Lauderdale. That's my primary residence. So
yeah.
for some tax purposes, I know how that goes.
No state tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
But then Traverse City's my second. So I live in two places where people vacation, which was my goal, Yeah.
That's your goal. And again, we're going to help you tap into your goal and whatever you want today. And by understanding this, so this isn't just, Dr. Hank's La La Land, if you will, that, and in fact, you'd all love to live in my La La Land. But this is, again, proven by science, and then it's proven by people that you will see, whether it's successful or not, that it's done onto you as you believe. And so our thoughts create energy. And then again, according to the scientists, what they say is this energy then creates matter. In other words, this is why thoughts become things. But I want you to take this to a even deeper experience and thought, is that thoughts are things. So imagine that your thoughts are seeds, and you plant it in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, which is God. and then it will grow. It is this fertile soil. And again, depending on what seeds you're putting into the fertile soil. And so you can have seeds of weeds and thorns, or you can have seeds of fruit and money, if you will, and joy and love and all the things that you want. So I want you to write down thoughts are things. So don't just disregard, oh, I just had this thought, whatever. Then I want you to run with you, these good feeling thoughts when you feel good about these thoughts, to be able to go take it to the next level. So Albert Einstein, he was just a genius. And by the way, we're all geniuses. And it's whatever you focus your attention on. And so whatever subject that is, you will become a genius. And Albert Einstein was just into energy and creation. And so he actually imagined in his mind and used his imagination. And that's God's playground, if you will, is imagination. And so you have that. The kingdom is within you. So for you to be able to start to imagine the life that you want in your future. And so Albert Einstein said, thoughts create matter, and this is not psychology, this is physics. So what I am sharing with you is fact. It is, you shall know the truth and you shall be set free. This is the truth. And again, whatever you focus your attention on grows. And so the question might be, well, why don't our thoughts create what we want? And Scott, have you ever been to where you've asked yourself, where's my stuff?
Yeah, well, trust me, it's all in a suitcase.
Yeah.
All in a suitcase, man. Unfortunately.
There you
go. It's a good
go.
place, man. It's a good place to be, I think. I like it.
Yeah. And so and we've been promised, ask and you shall receive, right? And then we just have to ask, hey, I've been asking for more business, I've been asking for more money, a better relationship, better health, whatever, and I've been asking and I haven't received. So thus we start thinking, maybe this isn't really true. Our thoughts don't create, we don't co-create with God, that hey, just stuff happens to us. And so then what happens to us then is we get life by default. So the answer is that your request, your asking, your thoughts are stuck in your subconscious mind. And let's talk a little about our subconscious mind. We actually have two minds. First, we have the conscious mind. And your conscious mind, again, I would suggest that you write this down. This is the wisdom of the ages, and it's here for you today. And I'm so honored to be able to deliver this to you, that the two minds, the conscious mind is to be able to identify what you want and why you want it. But we've been told that we're supposed to go figure it out and do the how. We're not supposed to use our conscious mind to figure out how. We're only supposed to do the asking. And so where we have gotten tripped up is we start believing other people when they tell us, oh, we have to work hard, or the root of all evil is money. And by the way, that's actually a biblical quote that I'll get to a little bit later, that it just was misinterpreted on what the actual meaning was. But the second, so you have your conscious mind, but then you have your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind has recorded since conception, every feeling that you've had, every thought that you've had, and every experience that you've had. And so as you have gone through life, that you have, and especially us as children, we're these innocent children, and we look up to our parents, and they tell us stuff, and pretty much we just believe it. And what it does is it goes from our conscious mind into our subconscious mind. So imagine that every thought you've had, every feeling you've had, every experience that you've had, that it has been recorded in your subconscious mind. The other word, the biblical word that is used, is the heart. And so as a man thinketh in his heart, and Scott, I got to tell you, I never really understood that. I even went to seminary school to understand some of this, that because I thought, as a man thinketh in his heart, like, what do you mean in your heart? In here? Is it in here that I'm in it? And so as a man thinketh in his head is here, but in his heart, they just didn't have the word before, but at that time, at biblical times, but it's in my heart. And so as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. So which means what's in my subconscious mind is what I'm going to create in my life. So imagine this, that every subject under the sun, that your subconscious mind has an opinion on that subject, and that opinion is what we call our beliefs. So we could use money, and your subconscious mind has a belief about money. And if you have, and you will know what your belief is based on what your experience is. If you don't have enough money, you'll understand that, wow, somewhere buried in my subconscious mind from something that maybe my parents told me, or my teacher told me, or my peers told me, or whatever, or me as an adult trying to work hard for it and not having enough, that I have that opinion of that there's not enough money, and so, or money is bad, or whatever the case be. And so imagine that every subject there is under the sun, that we have a belief about it in our subconscious mind. And if you start thinking about that, you start saying, that's really a crisis then, because how am I going to dig up what my, where I got that belief from on any subject, again, using money, let's say, on any subject, that how do I dig up that belief? And I'll tell you, people, that I'm also a behavioral psychologist, and that's what most people in my field there, not in mental science, but in psychology, that what they do is they put you on a couch and they want to dig that up. And so they ask you, well, let's talk about the problem. And what happens is, when you talk about the problem, there's no end to trying to find a solution. It just goes, you keep on digging, and you can't get it. And so have any of you thought about, think to yourself, have I ever had, like, something's not working right, and it must be my belief that I have, and then try to dig for that belief, and you can't find it. Well, the good news is that we're going to offer you today a solution to that, where you're going to be able to tap into your subconscious mind and actually improve your beliefs, change your beliefs to the things that you want, such as money is abundant, money is as easy to get as breathing air, and you'll have it. So pretty wild, eh, Scott, on the subconscious mind?
What's funny about that is I was listening, believe it or not, I was listening to a podcast by Maria Shriver. And she was interviewing a lady, I believe Mary Beckwith or something like that. And so Mary did this study, and she said every time people talk, each one is either talking or thinking about what they're going to say next, but they're not listening to the other person or what they're saying. So they're not really involved in the conversation. They're just worried about themselves. So they did this study where they put two people in a room, and one person's allowed to say whatever they want, whatever their issue is, problem is, they can say whatever they want. And the other person, all they can say is, tell me more about that. And what's funny is the person that had the issue or the problem solved their problem within 15 minutes just by this other person saying, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Like, so it's kind of like letting the other person like work through in their mind what the situation was, is what the problem is, and what the solution was, just by saying, man, like, and so I always give examples of that, but I just wanted to tell the short version of that, but it's a really good podcast to listen to, and it's powerful. And it's all about the stuff you're talking about, man. It's just beyond powerful when your thoughts are in the right place.
Yeah, it is, and that's just remarkable. And and you bring up a good point there also, because I'm actually listening to what you're saying and not thinking about what I'm going to say.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And
so, but the power of that is that when you start thinking about lack and limitation, that you'll start getting that. But your example there was, what is the solution? And see, when we start focusing more about the solution and asking, what is the solution? Like one of the magic formulas here, and you can all write this down, is please give me the solution. What is the solution for
Right.
this? And whatever it is,
Yep.
how can I have more business? How can I have that? But it's a great question to do. But we should be focused on the solution, on the answer. What has happened is we have been trained to be focused on the problem. And I'll give you an example, and this really it hits close to home for probably all of us, and that is breast cancer. And men get breast cancer as well. And if you've noticed that, because people have been fighting against breast cancer, it has gotten to just terrible proportions. And the reason why is, remember, whatever you focus on grows. And so every time somebody says breast cancer, that people think, oh, I wonder if I'm going to get it. And all breast cancer is, or any disease, is just that. It's dis-ease in my thoughts. And if I think I'm going to get something or might get something, you just increase your chances to it. So instead of thinking, gee, we're going to fight cancer, just say to yourself, and every time you hear anything about disease or sickness or whatever, that say to yourself that, that I love the idea of being healthy, and that I ask for more healthy thoughts. And when you have healthy thoughts, remember, your thought creates your experience. So if you have healthy thoughts, bingo, guess what happens? You have a healthy experience. And so, so the power of our thoughts. So we've created these dominant thoughts within our subconscious mind. And these are what we call beliefs. And so those are these beliefs that are buried in there. And again, I have a way to overcome all of those beliefs on any subject that you have. So our stuff is actually here now, because remember that the equation was ask for something, your thought, and then that creates the energy. So that energy is there. And so in essence, in energy form, everything that you have asked for is actually here, but it's not physically in your experience yet, because you haven't allowed it in. And the reason why we haven't allowed it in is because, and so what did we were told, the Father does the work. So we don't. And what that means is the kingdom within us, the Father within us, and so that is who does the work. But I need to get this agreement between my conscious mind and my subconscious mind, so my subconscious mind can go and do the work. Now, was that explained well enough? What do you think, Scott?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it just boils down to your thought. Like whatever. Like if you're thinking I can't do this, or I'm not going to get this listing, I'm not going to get this buyer. Like it's just you're right, right? Like
you're right.
And then heaven forbid you tell people, then it just gets worse, because now you're saying it, and your subconscious doesn't know. Like the crazy part, and I think you hit on this, your subconscious doesn't know right from wrong.
Right.
And you hit on this hard the last conversation we had on this call, and so. When you're saying whatever you're saying to yourself, you're right. Like your subconscious goes, okay. And one of the things I learned when you said this last time is when you say something about other people, your subconscious only knows one person, which is you. So if you're saying stuff about other people, now you're saying stuff to your subconscious going, that's who I am. That's how I feel. That's how, like, the stuff's real. I mean, it's beyond real. It's scary. The mind is a very delicate, powerful thing.
Yes, and you're exactly right. In fact, I'm going to share some of those points there. But one of the points you brought up is that actually 2 points that are just spot on is that it doesn't know right from wrong. Another way to say that is it just takes whatever your conscious mind is saying and it just agrees with it. So there's no judgment. It is done onto you. And so if you start saying it, that it's going to be. And here's a real good specific example in real estate that, in fact, just a couple months ago, I had an agent and said, oh, I have the worst buyer. This buyer doesn't make any decisions. They don't listen to what I say. We go look at house after house and house. There's always something wrong with it. And when they were done, they went into the spiel for about 7 minutes. And I said, are you done now talking about what you don't want? And they kind of went like, no, I'm telling you about reality, And I said, no, you're telling me about what you don't want. And the things that you're saying about this buyer, it's making them more of this because you have convinced your subconscious mind now, go make this happen. This is going to, this is going to be a bad, client, whatever. So I told that agent that this was on a Thursday, and I told that agent on I have magical sentences, and in fact, at the end of today, we're going to have a magical sentence that we're going to offer everybody to increase their income in 7 days. And I gave them a magical sentence, but also some thoughts around that, and just to help you with or to share the end of the story of this. That I said, what I want you to do is write down every one of those things that you don't like about them, don't want from them, and then I want you to identify the opposite of that. So they listen to what I say. They make quick decisions. They just look at a couple of homes and they've made a decision. They just fall in love with the home. That just start talking yourself into how this person is. Anybody can be alpha to the omega. And so you talk this person into being the way that you want them to be. And you do that through talking to yourself and then your subconscious mind. And then your subconscious mind, the Father, will do the work. So Saturday, they go out, they look at 3 homes, and they put an offer on the second home. And it's a done deal. And she came back and she was in tears and just said, oh my God, I can't believe the power that I have. And she initially said, oh, I can't believe the power I have. And I said, no, it's not my power. It's your power. I just showed you the path in order to realize your power that you have, that you can change any condition, any situation, anything, any relationship, any, empty checking account, whatever. You can have it all. And that's what God, you come from. We all come from a very rich Father. The wealthiest Father of all. We are the child of a very rich Father. And so let's take advantage of it and start thinking about what we want. Amen?
Amen.
All right. All right. So we have 2 minds. And so our conscious mind is used to identify our desires. And so it's basically what and why. So just be thinking about what you want. I'd like to increase my business. Why? I'd love to serve more people. I'd love to have more money. I'd love to be able to increase my self-esteem. Just start saying these wonderful things. And you're going to start seeing that with my magical sense that I'm going to give the offer to you at the end, that you're going to start seeing that this literally can happen within a couple of hours, okay? If not a couple of days, and the max in 7 days, that you're going to increase your business. Now, our subconscious mind follows everything the conscious mind thinks. 10 hook, and it basically is, you go do this. And, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and boy, when the drill sergeant say you go down, go down and hit 100 push-ups, you went down and hit 100 push-ups. And so the beauty is that we're the captain of our lives. And this beautiful subconscious mind, the Father within us, that is the heart within us, as we think it in our heart, that is willing to give you anything that you want, but it's your asking, and your asking is your thought. So as you were saying, Scott, it doesn't recognize right or wrong. And another way to look at that is not recognizing wanted or unwanted. And so really all life is what do we want or what do we don't want? And most of us have been trained and conditioned to think about what we don't want and try to stop on it and try to put it out. And the more you stop on it, the bigger it gets, the uglier the animal is. And that's why I suggest to people, don't be watching any, I don't want you to watch any news, any of that. They've searched the world for bad stuff, and then you start thinking about bad things, and then you start internalizing that to your personal life. And oh, geez, I might get, and I travel the world, and people will say, how can you go to Egypt every year? And it's so dangerous. And I go, there's no place in this world that's dangerous for me because I don't vibrate that way on danger. And I was just with President Bush Saturday night, and and he's got all these security people and and armored guards and everything, and I don't have anything, and I don't need anything. And I guess it would be more of an international incident if something happened to him than me. But the point is that that we're all safe and sound, but we have to think that. And if you start fearing, and just another side point for those of us that have children, stop worrying about your children, because what you're doing is you're bringing worry to them. And what we want to do is we want to just send them love, send them well-being, send them success, health, wealth, and success. And when you do that, this is what you will be giving them, because when you send them worry, they become worried. And so, then next thing you know, your kids are worried all the time, and you wonder why. And it's because you gave them, because your thoughts are powerful. They can go anywhere in the universe, to include into other people's mind, like your children's or your clients or whatever. And so what thoughts are you giving to other people? So if we can only get into our subconscious mind and re-engineer those dominant thoughts, we get our stuff. And to every desire, there is a solution. So this is how beautiful this is, that if you have a thought and a desire for anything, that God has the wherewithal, your subconscious mind, the kingdom within, your heart, that has the wherewithal in order to deliver that. So you can have it all. In fact, that example of President Bush meeting President Bush, that was something that 8 years ago, Sharon and I wanted to meet him, as we live in the same city, whatever. And so sure enough, there we are with him, and get our picture taken and everything with him on Saturday. And so our dreams came true. And so, but some of us, say like, hey, I want it, immediately. And well, you probably have some stuff in your subconscious mind, and we kind of have to run through. And that's why I'm going to be able to help tap into that right away. And so I'd like to use money as an example, because just how distorted we've gotten on money, that most of us have been brought up with thoughts, and especially as a child, that we easily accepted as truth about money. And so money is the root of all evil. and that whole quote actually was that, and the whole paragraph actually was that, what we want you to do in the Bible was saying, what we want you to do is understand that your money, your relationships, everything that you have comes from one place, and that's God. And so as long as you recognize that, then that's fine. Now, the funny thing too about that is, back in Christ's time, that your wealth was usually determined by how many sheep you have. And so really, the Bible didn't mean that, this poor innocent little sheep is the root of all evil, right? And so we just money now as an exchange. So instead of carrying around sheep with us, that instead what we're doing is that we use, credit cards or checks or whatever in order to do that. So it isn't really the money. Just understand that where everything comes from, God, and then you're good. The filthy rich, and that's just, it's not true at all. That money, the more money, just shows that you have added more value to the world, because all money is really a symbol of God's abundance. And that's a great one, and I think everybody should write that down, is that money is a symbol of God's abundance. And that's truly what money is, and then we use it as an exchange. And so money doesn't grow on trees. Well, Scott, you live 6 months, 1 day in Florida, and you have billions of dollars worth of money on trees, and they're called orange trees, grapefruit.
Orange, that's right. That's right, good stuff.
And then we were also told we have to work hard. And the reason why that happened is that for most of us, we went and we saw other people, and we see it today, like I'll watch SportsCenter because it's pretty calm and easy and, delightful on the human body and what it can do, whatever. And then people said, oh, I really worked hard for this. And really, that wasn't what happened. 99% of everything that we manifest is with our mind. And that's why a guy 5'8" can be a good basketball player, or football player, or whatever. It's not what their body size is or whatever. It's their determination, it's their mind and what they think, and if they can start visualizing what they want. So most of us saw our parents work hard, and then they got money, and so then we said to ourselves, oh, that must be the truth. So I'm going to accept that into my subconscious mind as a belief that you have to work hard for money, because look at my dad did, or my mom did, or whatever. And it's just not true. That all I do is play, and I keep on getting more and more money all the time. And so it all is a matter of what your perspective is. So the biblical quotes just don't support any of that on the root of all evil, that, you know, money really equals freedom. And this is an abundant universe that we have. And I'd like, one great way to look at money is as bountiful as the air we breathe. And so when you think about that, you think, hey, that's pretty cool. You know, I like that. And that, but you need to believe that. But if you tell your subconscious mind, if you say consciously to your subconscious mind, hey, money is as easy as the air you breathe, probably that's not going to be a belief. And what your subconscious mind does is it says, bullshit. That's not true. Mm-hmm. That's not true. And so, right. So want to watch, and that's why affirmations like I am wealthy or I am healthy, the reason why those never worked before, Scott, is because that when they would say I am healthy, the subconscious mind would say what? Bullshit. You know, you're not healthy, you got whatever, some, you know, leg problem. Or if I am wealthy, that no, that's not true, you don't have $1 million in the bank or whatever. And so that's the issue, and that's why everybody's dreams have gotten stuck, is that we have these beliefs within our conscious mind. And so it's just up to us now to allow and to accept these thoughts that I'm sharing with you, and to recognize and realize that you are this rich child of the wealthiest of all fathers. And by understanding and believing that you will start being on your royal road to riches. So uniting the minds. What we want is in our conscious mind, and what we believe is in our subconscious mind. So as we come together in agreement with our two minds, we will then receive that which we have asked for. So the subconscious mind, we talked earlier about, it doesn't recognize anybody else out there. As far as when you say about somebody else, I don't like you, your subconscious mind thinks you're talking about it, and you become to not like you. Or that person is awful, that it is saying, and that's why Christ said, do not judge, that and it's done unto you. And so, and when you're pointing that finger at somebody else, three fingers are coming back to you. And why? To love one another and to love your enemies. So, you know, that again, as a kid, that didn't make too much sense to me. Now I understand. I want to love my enemies, everybody that is a blessing, because we all are in our own city with the people that are in our mind. And so all the people, all the relationships, all the people that are in your mind, that's your city. And so they can either be your friends or not. And if they're not your friend, that they're actually a blessing, because they help you understand what you don't want. And so does everybody follow that? That, hey, that people that you could not know what you want if you didn't have other people showing you what you didn't want. And so because of that, that they are actually a blessing and to bless everybody. Amen to that?
Amen to that, brother.
All right. All right. So how to grow your business. Ask and you shall receive. And so ask is our thought, the what and the why goes into our emotions. Our emotions, it goes into our subconscious mind. Again, this is where it's been stuck. And now you're going to be able to have your subconscious mind agree with your conscious mind, and thoughts will now become things. Ask and you shall receive. And that is really the magical 5 steps of creation on how to create anything you co-create with God, doing these steps. And it is your thought and then getting your subconscious mind. But again, how do you get that agreement with the subconscious mind? So 7daystomorbusiness.com, and I would recommend everybody write that down, go to that. There's a short video and an explanation on that, and then you can get guaranteeing you that within 7 days you're going to get more business, and it'll be less than that. It can be within hours. And it's to change your subconscious mind. So you have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and you want more business, and it is a matter of equaling, having them agree together with that. So I have what's called 7 Days to More Business. Again, it's at 7daystomorbusiness.com, and this will literally increase your business, and you will love this mindset training. It has been used by thousands of people for success. It's the first time that I've ever offered it publicly now, and it is a way for you to be able to tap into your subconscious mind, to get agreement between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and to have all of your dreams come true. Now, I just love some of these testimonials. This all happened within the last week now on people that went through my most recent this process. And here's what some of them said, like Ryan. He said that this mindset training has transformed his life. He received 3 listings and 8 buyers within weeks of his training, and he already has closed $1.53 million this month. In fact, in the last 2 months now, he's made $50,000, and he basically says, "You've changed my life like no one else ever has." Kata, I actually just spoke to her this morning. She said, "Mindset training with Dr. Hank has improved my business immediately, right after my training." So this is literally within a day or two that she had a cash closing that closed within 2 weeks. She had come to me and said, "Hey, I really want to, I can't wait for the normal, 90-day whatever business cycle." And I said, "Well, why don't you ask for a cash buyer?" And so she did, and she got it, and within 2 weeks they closed. And then she had 3 closings already within the month. And as she says, "Thank you very much. This man is miraculous." Then Dan, within days after talking to Dr. Hank, actually the next day, he got out of the blue 2 calls from 2 people he hadn't talked to in a long time, and he barely knew them, that they called him. They both said, "Hey, I want to sell my house and buy another house." So he got 4 deals in by the next day of using this mindset training. And then this Angelica, that she's really just such a sweet lady, and business is great and everything, and it increased her business. But what really touched me about her is she said that I had lightened her load. And I think probably all of us, Scott, want to lighten our load and to have things just come more easy.
Less stress, less anxiety. I'm telling you. Yeah. Brian Carlson has a great question here, and thanks for being here, Brian. He says, "How do you?" And this gives me chills because it's probably everybody on this call. How do you suggest someone deals with self-sabotage? Because that's what we're kind of talking about here.
Yes. And and hey, and that really digs deep, doesn't it? On
I know it does. Yeah.
And so the first thing to know, and what's his name again? What was his name, Scott?
Brian.
So Brian, and for all of us, the first thing to know that once you recognize what the problem is, I never want you to say it over to yourself again. So don't say, "Oh, I'm self-sabotaging," or "How can I stop self-sabotaging?" Again, you have to kind of ask me the question initially because that's where you are. But God knows where you are, and God knows where you want to be, and God knows the path of least resistance. And so that path, and I'm actually on that path. I'm kind of like your guardian angel, if you will, and that's why you were on this podcast today, to be able to understand on, hey, what is this is what I want. And so what you really want, it's not about self-sabotage. That what you want is you want to love yourself, you want to accept and the goodness, the abundance in this life. Probably the most magical sentence I've ever been told, and I think for all of us this could probably be true. But Christ said that I give you life, and I give you life more abundantly. We deserve this, Brian, this abundant life. And so I want you to really embrace now on how this is your life to make as you want, and you can have it. And that's why I would take advantage of this offer. And I'm also going to be live with your questions, in fact, with this offer that I'll show you in a minute here. And you can raise those questions and we'll talk about it. I'll be on for as long as you guys want me to. I'll be on for a couple hours, whatever it is, but I'll answer your questions on that. And so the way to do that is really to start thinking about something different than the self-sabotage. So think and start visualizing about your better life. Do this program, because this program is going to help you with everything. It's not only going to give you 7 days to more business, but it's going to help you on that. So to be clear, kind of the quick answer is never say that again. And now ask for you to have the bountiful life that you deserve. And so ask for the riches, start visualizing those riches. And again, I can work with you individually if you want to email me, drhank@drhank.biz. And so great question. And
here's another one for you. Yeah. Here's another one for you. Raquel, thanks for being here, my friend. She says, how do you overcome knowing what to do but not following through? Which again is another great question.
It is a great question because, we know, we started out with, hey, here the 5 steps are, go do them. I can get it to you for, under a couple $100 a month, whatever. And, it's like, why am I not doing that? And so what happens is that we are not, in our subconscious mind, most of us are just tired. We're tired of swimming upstream, and because we think our desires are upstream, but our desires are all downstream. It's the easy path. So the answer to that is I'm going to show you now the easy path instead of you swimming upstream, the easy path. When you're on the easy path, you'll be guided to the things that will inspire you. So I'll give you an example. Some coach, whatever, tells you, hey, just start making 50 calls a day. Well, your subconscious mind says, yuck, I don't want to, I'm not doing that. And you don't want to do that. And so what happens is, even if you do it, you'll have no success because of your mindset. So what you do is you ask God for the way. Show me the easy path. Show me the easy path. And again, and what we're going to offer you, you're going to be given all the information you need in order to be able to really be motivated, inspired to start doing the things that you want. Is there any other questions, Scotty?
Let me look real quick here. Okay. How do you help us move from thought to action? And I think that's kind of one and the same, knowing what to do and not doing it. And I think, Dr. Hank, does it come down to really making sure, one, you're not self-sabotaging yourself, two, knowing what it is you really want out of life, why do I want to, what is the benefit of doing this? And if I don't like doing it, maybe there's another way to do it or delegate it out. But it's and everybody that I work with, I'm sure you're the same. It's what's the one thing that if you do the one thing, you will have more success? But then it's overcoming the fear of rejection, fear of failure. What if they tell me no? What if they give me an objection I'm not ready for or heard before, or all these little things? And I think it's just having the right mindset makes a huge difference when it comes to all of this, knowing I am good enough. Here's something that you taught me is do your best. And when you do your best, just accept it as good enough. and the right people will come. The right people will show up. The right people will be a part of your life. The universe will open up, and the right people will come into your life at the right times.
You bet, you bet. And so the initial question there was, hey, what's the big action step or whatever, how do I take thought to action? That you won't have a problem when you start thinking about this, because it'll only be inspired action. You'll have a thought, it'll inspire you, God will inspire you, and you'll be off and running and doing it. You'll just love it. And so start listening to yourself. So if there's one action step for all of us to do, is to be quiet and to quiet ourselves. And in fact, I'm going to offer you a Joy Shop meditation with this offer here that is actually going to take you to those answers on how to quiet, because you want to quiet yourself so you can allow God in, so God can then inspire you to inspired thought and inspired action. But that's where you have to have faith and trust in God, and knowing that there is God, the God, and that God will take you to where you are. And so, so let me just kind of finish this here, Scott, and just,
Perfect.
Just a few minutes there, but great questions. And again, if you want to contact me, you can contact me, and I'll be happy to get you moving along. But the first thing for all of you with questions, that I have the answer here on 7daystomorbusiness.com. And again, what I was sharing with Angelica is what was so great about her is she just said, oh, this just lightened my load. And all of us want to lighten our load and just to have more ease. And so you'll see that this is easy, that this is fun, that you'll get what you want. And then loan officers, I love it too, that here Maria, she's getting 1 to 2 new calls every day from clients, building 8 strong new. She has her business bigger than it's ever been going through this mindset training. So basically, here's what you'll get. The investment is just $197. Again, agents and brokers and whole teams pay me thousands of dollars every month that you're going to get the juiciest part here, the answer to those questions and the other questions, and to increase your business. It's all just $197. What you're going to get in that is a 1-hour seminar on how thoughts become things. You'll also, and what I recommend you do is you do this in 2 weeks. So in the first week, and again, within 7 days, you get more business, but do the thoughts become things. Then you'll get a magical statement for process number 1. And it's actually a PDF and everything, that this will be a magical statement and process for you. Then you'll have Creative Prosperity, a 1-hour webinar on creative prosperity mindset, and then a second magical statement. And this literally, what folks catch this, that what it does is it permanently changes your beliefs now into the things that you do want, and more self-esteem, more business, more inspired action that'll get you to that. Now, in addition to that, we'll do that mind-enhancing audio meditation, the Joy Shop, and it's really about you being quiet. And all the great masters and spiritual teachers of all time have always been about this, to quiet yourself and to take trust. And what will happen is you'll start getting godly thoughts, and when you get God thoughts, they'll just come to you. You'll have things out of the blue. You'll have the President of the United States come to you out of the blue. You'll have, whatever it is, clients come to you. But that's how you live a magical life. We each deserve not only this rich life, but this magical life with more laughter, more fun, more happiness. And this is on how to do that, and do this Joy Shop meditation. And then you're going to get my book, Think, Feel, and Grow Rich. And it's one of my best-selling books. It's 13 Steps to More Money and Joy. And you'll just love that. And you'll hear, it'll take you to new dimensions of thought that you have never been to before. And then you'll have an invitation to be on, I'm going to actually have a live session then for all of you that sign up to that. So it's 7daystomorbusiness.com. It's just $197. It's guaranteed. You get your money back if it doesn't work. I've never had anybody not have it work as long as they do what I ask them to do in this amazing proven training process. So if you're serious about increasing your business and really improving your mindset and having your conscious mind match up with your subconscious mind, so God, the Father within you, that where your heart is, that it will all come to be able to create the life of your dreams. So I'm offering this, again, this is just a special. Scott actually gave me the idea. I credit Scott with it. He said, hey, I'd love to offer my audience this, but something for, reasonable and not all the thousands normally charge and the investment for. And so I would love to have you to sign up now, 7 days to morebusiness.com if you're serious about turning your life around and having it even better than it is now. So what do you think about that, Scott?
I love it big time. And I did put 7 days to morebusiness.com down in the chat box.
Okay.
So you can click on the link there. And Dr. Hank, thank you. I always, and I can't tell you how much, when we did that webinar, I'm like, oh my God. Like it's just, once you start, and a lot of you on here may think this is foo-foo, but I'm telling you, it's so not. The more I dig into this, the more research I do on this, the more people I talk to about this, the more I realize. And then not only once I, as I'm doing this, Dr. Hank, since I've met you, it's amazing how things have started happening when you're open to them and you start thinking different. You stop telling yourself the bad stuff, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this. Like it's amazing how you go, I am worthy, I am good enough. Yeah. This is good enough, and like all these little things that really make a big difference to your subconscious. Stop saying things about other people. It's just amazing how much better your life gets and how much happier you get. It's unbelievable.
You bet. So I promise a little song, and so we like to laugh, have more fun as we increase our income. 7 days to more businesses here, and we are now more filled with cheer. Love you all. Thank you so much. You guys rock. Love you, Scotty. Thank you. And you guys have a blessed
Thanks so much, Dr. Hank. Appreciate you more than you'll ever know. And thank you so much for coming on again, taking time out of your day. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep changing lives. Keep helping everybody. And we'll see you same time, same place, right here on Agent Mastermind. Everybody have a great day. Have a blessed day. We'll see you on the web. Take care.